Sub-Saharan Africa has been fundamental to the global prosperity of the advanced countries. And Africa had a role to play. It has a role as a raw material producer. We will not allow Sub-Saharan Africa to escape that. Okay, we do everything to keep Sub-Saharan Africa where it is, also impoverished. It's absolute.
Okay, guys, as we see the impact of colonialism overwhelming the colonized, let us delve into the complex social issue and explore different perspectives to foster understanding and empathy. In today's episode, we address the recent far-right riot in the UK and call to stop the boat. Examining the broader implication of immigration and colonial legacies. In the aftermath of the far-right riot, it is crucial to consider the historical context and the systemic factors that drive global migration patterns. Economic migrants often seek better opportunities and safety due to poverty, instability, or conflict in their home countries. Therefore, while addressing immigration concern, it is important for all individuals, including those participating in the such riot, to have a nuanced understanding of the root causes of migration. Intimidating or mistreating migrants, whether they are economic migrants or refugees, is not a humane or effective way to address the complexity of migration in the UK. Considering the historical context of the colonialism and its impact on current global migration patterns, calling for an end to colonial rules and addressing the legacy of colonialism can be a meaningful step in promoting justice and equality in the global context. It is essential for countries, including those with colonial history, to acknowledge their historical responsibilities and work towards creating a more equitable and just world. Engaging in a constructive dialogue, advocating for policies that address the root causes of migration, and promoting internal cooperation are essential steps in addressing migration issue in a way that uphold human dignity, respect human rights, and foster more inclusive society for all. By addressing the underlying issues and advocating for systemic change, it is possible to work towards a more just and human approach to migration that considers the complexity of the issue. People of Britain, it is important for you to remember and not forget so soon that those migrants are not having it so easy for them economically because they are excluded from their own economic right and their own right to live because your policies upon them during and after colonialism is still a negative energy and a negative shadow in their path that confiscates their life and their livelihood in the various countries where they come from and does not allow them to live in harmony with their loved ones due to hunger and starvation. In conclusion, it is immoral and it is inhumane for any Briton to rise up against the boat without addressing the root cause of this boat in the first place: neocolonialism and the systemic theft of the European world against the rest of the world. Just like it is made clear in the clip of this video that you are going to watch, you will understand exactly the complexity of the people's problem. If you have humanity left in you, the people are suffering as a result of the systemic armed robbery that is being done against them through your policies and through the activities of neocolonialism. Let's watch this clip and we may understand further into the complexity of this situation.
Sub-Saharan Africa has been fundamental to the global prosperity of the advanced countries. And Africa had a role to play. It has a role as a raw material producer. We will not allow Sub-Saharan Africa to escape that. Okay, we do everything to keep Sub-Saharan Africa where it is, also impoverished. It's absolutely vital for the prosperity of everyone else. So let's get clear about that. Okay, and this means all the economic structures, all the global institutions, and the economics we teach everyone is all designed to keep Africa exactly where it is. And whether it is Europe or US or now China, it's always the same. We need Africa to be impoverished because we need those raw materials and we need them dirt cheap. Okay, so that's the message. It doesn't mean to say that there's nothing Africans can do. Of course there is. This is what it's about. Because if Africa does do something different, I assure you living standards of all those in Europe and North America and Asia is going to fall. Okay? And that is a big price to pay. I assure you that the West is not going to allow that without a big fight. Okay, so the job of many Western academics is to convince Africans they have to keep doing what they're doing. Okay? And to show them it's your fault that you're poor. It's not our fault. It's your fault that you're poor. You know, so this is what we do in academic institutions. We know the basic forces that have caused this underdevelopment. We know it's colonization. We cannot afford to allow Africa to industrialize and start producing manufactures. Okay, so we will do everything to stop that. And I'm going to show you how we actually block that. We had East Asian rapid industrialization processes. So in the earlier period, we had Japan and Korea and Taiwan. Okay, rapid growth, sucking in raw materials from Africa, driving up the prices. And after those countries finished industrialization, then Sub-Saharan African growth rate again fell. Sub-Saharan Africa is condemned to this role, just the supplier of raw materials, not a manufacturer. The currencies are collapsing of these countries, and many of them are Sub-Saharan African countries. After colonization ended, we needed new structures to keep these countries where they were. Okay? And the first of those is aid. Okay? We give them aid. Aid for what? Actually, we give them aid to keep repressive regimes in power. That's all. All the hypocrisy about transparency and democracy and bullshit like that, it's all bullshit. But it would go to country after country offering loans. And if the president did not accept the loan, they were killed. It's just economics. It's economic warfare. The rich declare war on the poor. It happens everywhere. It happens in a country. The rich control the government. Of course they do. You really believe you have democracy? Come on. You know, I mean, grow up. Who has all the subsidies and income support? US, Europe. The largest budgets in the world for supporting their farmers are Europe and US. You see, we're keeping them dependent. We're keeping them on a string. This next round of the WTO is designed to block that. To block anyone else getting on top of the ladder